welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Z, and in today's video we'll be talking about relocating to Australia. So right now I am currently sitting in my bedroom in my pajamas. I hope you guys don't mind. And then so I was on my phone a couple of hours ago and I saw a message in my Instagram inbox from someone, a lovely lady from Zimbabwe, that sent me a message. I'll probably put the message somewhere here, but I'll hide some of the things, like I'll hide her face, I'll hide her name, and some of the information that she shared with me, just because I don't know how much she'll be comfortable with me sharing. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to read part of the message. So this lady says to me, "Hi Z, how are you? I've recently started following you on your YouTube channel. Thank you and shout out to you, girl. I was glad to find a channel of a Zimbabwean who has recently moved to Australia. I will be moving to Australia, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, but I'm not sure." Also, she says, "and really haven't thought of which state to go." Okay, I'm aware you said you moved to Victoria, so I wanted your honest opinion on how Melbourne is. My husband was really pushing for New South Wales, but my heart is torn in between. So she can't decide whether she should go and stay in New South Wales. For those that don't know, New South Wales is the state. That's where Sydney is. I'm sure when people talk about Australia, they do mention Sydney a lot, or they talk about Sydney a lot. So yeah, this is New South Wales. This is where Sydney is. I'm in Victoria. That's where Melbourne is. And she also wants to know about the housing issue in Melbourne. She says here, "Is the housing issue in Melbourne so serious as the other states? And which suburbs would you recommend in Melbourne? Your advice would really be appreciated." Okay, so we're just going to get right into this. We're not going to waste time. The other question, I'll tell you guys why she asked me that question, but I think I know why she asked me about the housing situation. But anyway, let's start with the first question. So this lady wants to move to Australia. Well, this lady is planning to move to Australia, right? And she's just really not sure which state to go. Okay. So when I moved to Australia, I knew where I wanted to go. I knew that I didn't want to stay in Sydney, just because I have done my research, which I always encourage you guys to do. Make sure that you do your research, okay? Go on to property sites like main.com.au and just do a quick search. I'll just try and search here. So just go on to that property site, click on rent, and it depends on what you want to do actually, because most people, when they come to Australia, they want to buy, and some people just want to rent first and then they buy later. So either way, if you're going to be buying, you can just click on buy. If you're going to be renting, you can just click on rent. And then you enter a place, like you just search a place that you want to stay in. Most properties in Sydney, I'm just going to search Sydney here, New South Wales. So most places in Sydney, the rent is like, I think I need to do a screen recording. I'm just going to record my screen so that we have, oh, this is for buying. I'm just going to do rent. Let me just quickly change that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just looking down on my phone online, and this is what I'm seeing here. In Sydney, there's a property it's a 1-bedroom apartment, and it's going for $675 per week. And it seems like this company's also got another property in Sydney, which is like $2,300 per week. $2,300 per week, and there's another one for $2,750 per week. We do have like more. They do have more here. There's one for $650 per week, $2,200 per week, $1,100 per week, $695 per week. That's like a 1-bed apartment. And the ones for 1,100 and 1,100 is like 1 bed. It's a 1-bed apartment, and a 3-bed apartment is $2,200 per week. So this is in Sydney, right? And I'm just gonna do a random search again for Melbourne. So these properties are probably right in the CBD or something like that, in the city center. But anyway, so there's this property. This is in Melbourne. So remember, we're seeing quite a number of 1-bed apartments in Sydney that were like going for 2,000, right? And in Melbourne here, you can see this 1,200 per week. That's 2 bedrooms, and you actually get 2 bathrooms. So with the 1 bed, you get 1 bed, 1 bathroom. So look, in Sydney, there was a property for $650 that was a 1-bed apartment, and now in Melbourne, you can get 2 beds for $650 per week. So now it's up to you. I mean, you need to decide what works for you. You have to like try and figure out like which places that you want to stay in. I can assure you, let me just search I'm gonna show you guys something here. I'm just gonna search for properties in let's say should we search Bandura? Maybe let's try Bandura. So we're gonna search for properties in Bandura. So in Bandura, you can actually see here that let me just start from the top. So you can see that in Bandura, you will actually pay $350 per week. This is in Melbourne, and you can actually pay like $580 per week. It's like a 3-bed apartment with 2 bathrooms, $350. Oh, this is I'm not gonna say anything, but you guys can already see that there's something funny about this house. But anyway, I'm not gonna say anything, but this house, let me keep quiet. Anyway, so there's another property here. It's a 5-bedroom apartment, and you'll be paying like you'll be paying $530 per week. And it's a 5-bedroom apartment. I mean, a 5-bedroom home. Let's just have a look at this. Just out of curiosity, sorry. So just out of curiosity, just want to have a look. Oh, no. My sweet, eh? Let me look at another one. No. Anyway, so you have it right there. I know she did ask me which places are the best to go. Okay, look at this one. This one is nice. So this one is like $700 per weekend. It's the 3-bedroom apartment. Remember, in Sydney, you won't get it for this much. But let's just have a look. Let's have a look. I'm sorry, guys, but let's just have a look at this one. You can see there it's a 3-bedroom apartment, and it's going for like $700. Ooh, look at the bathroom. This is stunning. I love this place. But the bedrooms are quite small, as you guys can see. One thing I like to let you guys know. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful bathroom. Oh my gosh. This house is stunning. I just don't like the kitchen, but it's not bad. The bathrooms are stunning. Look at the kitchen. This is amazing. Okay, anyway, I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. But yeah, this is a nice place. It's in Bandura. So you can choose, like, I mean, there's a lot of places that you can go to. You can either try and stay. Now, to answer the second question, she did ask, let me just go back to my questions. She did say, I wanted your honest opinion on how Melbourne is. Okay, let's answer this question. She wants to know how Melbourne is compared to I wouldn't be able to compare it with any other city because I've only been in Melbourne. But from what I hear, if you go on TikTok, I mean, you will find all the information that you need about Melbourne. Like, Melbourne is amazing. The people are amazing. They're very friendly and all. But one thing I just want you to know, the truth is that Melbourne weather is the pits. I mean, if you've stayed in Cape Town, I'm sure you won't have a problem staying in Melbourne because it's mostly cold. A lot of the days are cold, and when it's hot, it gets really hot. And in summer, it gets really hot. If you've stayed in Botswana, you're definitely going to be able to adjust if you move to Australia, because Australia is really hot. So there's that, and the rain. I mean, you can wake up in the morning, it's summer, let's just say it's summer, you wake up in the morning, pick out an outfit, get a cute summer dress, put it on, and you're like, oh, I'm going to the beach or something like that, or I'm going for lunch, and then you put on your cute summer dress. By the time you walk out or try to get to your car, it will be raining. So that's how Melbourne is. You just need to know, like, that you just need to know what to expect. Every time when you go to work, make sure that you've got an umbrella in your bag. Make sure that you've got a sweater, you don't get really cold, or like a jersey, something. Just make sure you have a sweater every day. I mean, because that's in summer, just because it can just start raining out of nowhere, and maybe it will rain for like 30 minutes or like 10 minutes, it will pour, and then after 10 minutes it's sunny again. So that's how the Melbourne weather is. I think what you need to do is just go onto TikTok, go onto YouTube, just try and find out. But most of the information about the Melbourne weather, you will find it on TikTok. So you will find a lot of videos of how the weather is in Melbourne, but it's not something that you can't live with. I mean, you get used to it. At first, like in my first year, it was quite strange. I remember when I arrived in April, it was actually raining in April, and the whole of winter it was raining. I feel like this winter it's better. Right now, it was raining. It was raining like a couple of minutes ago, and then it just stopped. So that's what I mean. I hope you guys are not. If you hear any strange sound in the background, it's my aircon. It's on right now. I need some heat because it's cold. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on. That's what the sound is. I should have turned it off. Let me try and turn it off now. One of the downsides of staying in Melbourne, but I mean, one thing I've noticed, like on the news, they're talking a lot about the Sydney trains. I don't know, it seems like Sydney has got a problem. I don't know, if you stay in Sydney, please let me know. But it seems like Sydney has got a problem with public transport. The other day, I think it was last week, one person didn't go to work and the whole train system was a mess. Everyone got stuck just because one worker didn't go to work, cancelled his shift because he was sick, he or she was sick, and it affected the whole schedule. Everyone got stuck. People got home late. So yeah, that happens a lot in Sydney. I don't know. Not that it happens a lot, but like I've heard on the news like a lot of bad things about the public transport in Sydney. But in Melbourne, I do know that sometimes we do have like interruptions when they're like fixing the roads and opening new stations or something like that. I don't know what they'll be doing, but whenever they're just having like some upgrades and whatever, doing some upgrades and stuff like that, that's when we do have problems with our public transport, but that's not very often. So I can confirm that Melbourne seems like it's got the best public transport system. I don't know about the other states, but yeah, I think the public transport has only let me down once or twice. Since I came here. So I do think that's a good thing, because it's, traveling to the city. Sometimes if you stay, for example. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an example of how this whole system is. It's like if you stay, maybe let's say 30 minutes from the city and you drive to the city, it will take you almost an hour to get to the city. I know, it's crazy. Or sometimes if you're just going somewhere that's like somewhere that's like 20 minutes away, it will take you double the time. So it's just better for you to use the public transport when you can, as much as you can, especially if you're going to work and you work in the city. You will see that it's better to just take the public transport. But if you need to, if you have a child, or you can't take the Uber, you can't take the public transport with your child, then maybe you can drive, but you don't really have to. And maybe in summer when you want to go to the beach, you could, sorry guys if I have been looking on this side, I forgot that I'm supposed to, because I haven't done this in a long time, but I'm really sorry about that. Now I'm going to look straight into the camera. So like I was saying, the other thing is the public transport system in Australia. It's so good, like especially in Melbourne. I'll speak about Melbourne because that's the only place I know. It's so easy to leave your house, go to work. If you're working in the city, you just get onto a bus, get onto a train. From a train, maybe you just get straight to where you're going, to your office, or you need to take a tram from the station to your office. That's another way. And it's so easy. It's easily accessible. And the other thing that you need to do is just to make sure that you have your Google Maps. It will show you what time the bus is going to be at your bus stop. I know. So what I normally do is, if I'm lazy to get up in the morning for work, what I normally do is I just go on to Google Maps and I check, I just try and search to see if I'm starting at 9 o'clock, I'll just try and see, I'll just set that I want to arrive at this destination at 9 o'clock. So what time should I get up? What time should I leave my house? So it will actually tell you that if you leave at maybe say 10 past, you will get to your bus station at about 18 past, and there's going to be a bus that will be leaving at 18 past. Using you filter with the time that you want to arrive, and then it is going to just give you the schedule, and then you will know when you're supposed to leave your house to walk to the bus stop, and from the bus stop get onto the bus, get to the train station. From the train station, if you need to catch a tram, then you can catch a tram to wherever you're going. But yeah, it will do everything for you. So yeah, so I feel like that's one of the reasons why anyone should move to Melbourne. And I believe it, but we lost the audio somewhere, so I'm gonna have to see. I have to start. So I remember that I was talking about the transport system, that I feel like transport is better. The transport system is better in Melbourne compared to New South Wales. And now moving on from there, I'm just going to talk about... I remember she talked about, she was asking... She was asking if the housing situation is as bad as in Melbourne, is as serious as the other states. Well, I don't want to lie. The only thing I can tell you is that even when we came, we heard the news that there was no houses, that there was too much competition on the market, and it was because of COVID. After COVID, a lot of people were coming into Australia, so it meant that there was definitely gonna be a lot of competition. And now with the students coming back, you'll be competing with students to get accommodation. So what I was saying is that there is competition. Definitely, you'll be competing with students for accommodation, and you'll be competing with other migrants that will be coming from different countries. So yeah, it's really hard to find a place to rent. But I think there's ways that you can negotiate. I'll give you an example of what we did, because we were told that at that time that we were coming, there was a lot of competition. A lot of people were applying for, like, we're going to view the houses and stuff, and they were making applications. So to increase our chances of getting the accommodation, we were advised to offer like 6 months rent. So if you can afford to do that, you can tell them that you will pay 6 months rent and the deposit on top. So yeah, you can negotiate that way. But what I know is that it's not allowed in Australia, so I don't think they'll make you do that, because we did offer that to all the agents, and none of them made us pay that much. So yeah, we just ended up paying the deposit and the rent for that month. The only thing that we did was we paid just to make sure that we secure the house, because you don't want a situation where, because we're coming on the 16th of April, we're going to arrive on the 16th of April, right? And we didn't want them to prefer someone who was going to start the lease on the first day of the month. So we decided to pay the rent for like a week before we arrived. So yeah, we paid a little bit extra even though we're not there. It was just for 1 week before. Yeah, and it was, I think at that time when we paid for the week before, we even managed to get our gas connected, and what else? The water, I think. So by the time we got here, because we didn't come and stay in a hotel, we just flew from South Africa. So maybe that's something that you could consider doing. But I would say that the crisis is everywhere. That's what I think, because I'm just seeing this on the news. It's just everywhere. There are no houses, and even like finding houses to buy, it's quite hard. It maybe depends with what you're looking for, but there are not many houses on the market. Try and go onto the property sites like domain.com.au, and also go on to realestate.com.au. Find out how much it is to buy a house or to rent, because if you're planning to buy a home, I think you should start doing your research now and make sure that you research like the best suburbs online. You will find this information online, because we did find some information, though we had like a bit of guidance. And I'm just going to tell you guys some other places that you can come if you want to come to Melbourne, and you want to stay in Melbourne, and you want to stay in a big house, because I know that if you're coming from Zimbabwe or South Africa, depending on where you're staying, maybe if you're from Cape Town or whatever, most people are used to staying in houses that are quite big and like in yards and stuff like that. So if you want a place like that, you should go to places like Werribee, Point Cook, which other place can you go to? Trigonina, Ternate. Those places, they do have like really big homes that are affordable. I'm sure you can get something for around $350 per week, or like $400 per week in those areas to rent. Just try and do your own research, and also try and look for places that are inland, because sometimes there's like flooding, and I've seen like this flooding in Australia. So you want to consider moving to a place that is inland, so that you don't have like those kind of fears. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's maybe something that you would want to consider And what else did she ask? So she asked about housing. I've already touched on that. And she was debating whether she should move to New South Wales or to Melbourne. I would say Melbourne, girl. I mean Victoria. Move to Victoria. And but it's up to you at the end of the day what you want to do. But I feel like from my experience, or like just from talking to people, I know quite a number of people that are moving from Melbourne, moving from New South Wales because they want to come and build their homes, because it's a bit expensive to build in New South Wales. So yeah, some people end up just moving to Melbourne. Not that you can't build, you can, but I'm sure you end up building a smaller home, in New South Wales. Okay, so I think I've answered all her questions, because she wanted to know which place would be better, and she wanted to know if the rental crisis is everywhere. Yeah, there is a rental crisis, but you will be able to find something. I told you there was a rental crisis when we came, but we managed to secure a place while we were still in South Africa. So you could try that. Try applying for homes right now. If you have family, ask your family to go and view the home for you. Yeah, that's what you could do. And start applying for homes right now. That's the best thing to do. Yeah, so I think I've answered all your questions, and I hope that you guys will hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you comment down below. If you have any questions, please hit me up on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram handle somewhere here. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Imagine, guys, I had to record this part again because I was just about to edit the video. Then I discovered that I lost the audio at some point, so I had to record this part again just for you guys. So please, I'm making an effort. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, comment down below, and like this video. Please share, and also feel free to hit me up on Instagram. Thank you for watching. Bye.